Hello everybody and welcome back to the new VR news. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your one channel for everything VR related. After a week off on vacation, I'm really excited to jump back into the news, and you should be too, because today we're discussing Valve's Project Neptune. Is it a handheld device or is it part of a new headset? We also have some new games to go over, some awesome updates, Cybershoes are now available from Amazon, and VR treadmill designers Virtuix have announced that they've raised $19 million to help bring the Omni One treadmill into your home. Timestamps are of course in the description if you want to skip ahead. So let's not waste any more time and jump right into this video, starting with an upcoming virtual experience for Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead is a new Zack Snyder Netflix film starring Dave Bautista. You probably already know what to expect from that combination, but it's some mindless, action-packed zombie killing fun. As long as you don't try to make sense of the plot, you can definitely enjoy this movie. Now I know zombie killing is a bit cliche in VR, but this Army of the Dead virtual experience is taking it to a whole new level. Army of the Dead Viva Las Vengeance is a 30-minute VR experience that takes place in a tactical taco truck. Yes, you did hear that correctly. You and your friends will be stepping into a taco truck that has been souped up to survive the Las Vegas zombie apocalypse. This experience has you driving through the zombie-infested Las Vegas, trying to save some civilians. You'll feel the bumps in the road as the truck will simulate motion, and this experience also promises to use state-of-the-art VR technology and to throw a couple surprises at you. Starting in July, this taco truck will be going on tour, and you can book an experience for $24 when it hits your area. Tickets will be on sale starting June 3rd, and if you're interested, there's more information down in the description. Okay, so let's move on to some new VR releases that you can actually play in your own home, starting with Carve Snowboarding. Now this was the title originally announced at the Oculus Gaming Showcase. It's a snowboarding game from the creators of 1080 Snowboarding, and it's currently available on the Oculus Quest. Now there's not a lot of competition for VR snowboarding games out there right now, but if you were interested, it looks like this is the title to pick up because reviews from both players and media outlets have been quite positive. It's currently sitting at over 4 stars on the Oculus Store. Now if snowboarding is a little bit too intense for you, we have ForeVR Bowl. ForeVR Bowl puts a unique spin on the classic pin-crushing sport. I used to go out to disco bowling nights as a kid, and this game takes it up to a whole new level. Instead of just flashing lights and music, you'll have some extremely unique environments and bowling balls. If you've been missing bowling game nights with your friends while you've had to socially distance, ForeVR Bowl is your way around that. Reviews for this title have also been quite positive. It's also sitting just above 4 stars on the Oculus Store. And when I do eventually get around to playing Carve Snowboarding and ForeVR Bowl, I will let you guys know my personal opinion. Okay, so that was the relatively small release window for this week, but don't worry because we have a lot of updates to existing games. First up, the Rube Goldberg style puzzle title Gadgeteer is finally available on the PlayStation VR. If you were interested in building some domino style reaction machines and solving puzzles, well here you go. It's a nice, chill, laid-back experience that'll give you a reason to turn your PlayStation VR back on. If you're looking for some more action, Echo VR Season 2 is starting next week on June 8th. If you're not familiar with Echo VR, it's a highly competitive, free-to-play, zero-G Rocket League meets rugby sports title. New seasons bring new unlockable cosmetics, which can be unlocked by earning in-game credits, or you can purchase 1,000 in-game points for roughly $10 US. Echo VR is highly competitive and can be a bit intimidating, but if you've never tried this title, you really should. Speaking of titles you may have never played, Star Wars Pinball VR is already getting an update. Han Solo and Chewie have now arrived, there's a new pinball machine to try out, and some new unlockable cosmetics for your pinball man cave. Now I only played a little bit of Star Wars Pinball, mainly because I was frustrated due to the lack of index controller support. Personally, I would have liked to see them correct that before adding some new content, and if you were on the fence about getting this game, I don't think Han Solo is going to push you over the edge. Overall, the game's a fun experience, but I am much more excited to try out the updates coming to Population 1. Team Deathmatch is coming on June 3rd, and this is a huge change of pace to the Battle Royale title. Rather than multiple teams of 3 trying to be the sole survivors, you'll have 2 teams of 6 looking to rack up 30 kills as quick as possible. If you die, your team does not have to revive you and you will automatically respawn within 5 seconds, and matches will take place on a small portion of the overall Population 1 map. Now this is a time-limited mode available from June 3rd to June 14th. After that, it will be available in custom rooms. For those of you trying to grind out some new gear, deathmatch games will earn you season points, and there will be weekly and daily challenges you can compete in. Now this is the update that is finally going to pull me back into Population 1. Without reliable teammates, I lost interest in this title a few months ago, but Deathmatch will play like a whole new game, and I won't be as dependent on my teammates. So let me know down in the comments if you want to join me next week for some Population 1 Deathmatch. Okay, so the last title I want to talk about is currently in Kickstarter, and that's How Is the Water? The team has currently raised $47,000 of their $61,000 goal, and they still have 19 days left to go. How Is the Water promises to replicate what it's like to live in the ocean. You'll explore amazing marine environments, encounter multiple different species, embark on a journey to preserve the oceans, take on the role of a shark or dolphin, and even join your friends under the sea. It's a unique experience unlike anything else currently available in VR, and the company is also promising to use this as an educational tool for students. Every copy sold of How Is the Water will also bring an additional copy to a student or youth who doesn't have access to the sea. If you're interested in supporting this Kickstarter campaign, links will be down in the description. Okay, we just have 2 quick hardware topics before we jump into today's main event. First up, the VR Cybershoes, which allow you to walk in VR, are now available from Amazon. This is excellent for things like quick shipping, availability, and returns. If you're not familiar with the Cybershoes, they're almost like roller skates which help you simulate walking in VR. They're great for people who suffer from motion sickness or just want to enhance their overall immersion. The Cybershoes team just had their annual tournament where a bunch of VR content creators show off these shoes live. Now, if you are looking for more realistic VR locomotion, the company Virtuix has just received an additional $19 million in funding to help bring their Omni One virtual treadmill into your home. Now, I've been quite skeptical of this hardware in the past, but it looks like they're finally slimming it down, making it affordable, and getting that locomotion to feel as natural as possible. While the product has been streamlined, we're still looking at a $2,000 device. Now, that price tag does include a wireless gaming headset. The product is usually shown paired with a Pico Neo 2, but there's no confirmation of what headset they will ship it with just yet. Hopefully, when conventions finally open up again, I'll get to demo one of these units. Okay guys, let's talk about Valve's new Project Neptune, also going by the codename Steampal. Now, this information has been available for a few days now, so don't expect anything new or groundbreaking here. You're tuning in for some cliff notes and my opinion on the situation. So SteamDB co-founder Xpor originally brought to light some interesting lines of code found in the latest Steam update. Since then, multiple news outlets have covered this topic, and the overall consensus is Valve is creating a Nintendo Switch-like handheld device. There's actually no direct evidence this has anything to do with VR or a new Valve Index, but there is a lot we can speculate on or even just hope for. Let's start with the supposed leaked information for the handheld device first. This would be a truly mobile device featuring an AMD processor, a 7-inch screen, controllers with haptic feedback, and the ability to dock it for a home console-like experience. It would run Valve's special flavor of Linux, SteamOS. There is a special category of games optimized to run natively on this device, and you can also stream PC games to it. Now, obviously, take all of this with a grain of salt. We have seen patents from Valve that do illustrate similar hardware, and the data mined information does have direct references to this being a mobile device, but overall, you never know what to expect with Valve. They could be prototyping a product, playing around with it for multiple years, and then eventually just shelve it. Or, this could be the tip of the iceberg, and this hardware will show up in multiple different products. Now, this is what I'd like to focus on. Again, there's no direct correlation between Project Neptune or Steampal and anything VR related, but obviously this technology could be adapted for a mobile VR headset. Now, I previously made a video about a Valve Index 2 wishlist and expectations, which I do recommend you check out because it covers some of these patents I've previously mentioned. But now with the likely possibility of a Valve handheld, I'm reshaping and upgrading my expectations and wishlist. So let's lay out a new potential scenario. For years, users have been requesting a wireless module for the Valve Index. But who wants to pay something like $300 for HTC's wireless solution, especially when the Oculus Quest 2 delivers that for free? So rather than going that route and delivering an expensive device that only has one purpose, why not make the Steampal compatible with the Valve Index? All it would need is a DisplayPort, a USB port, and just a shorter Valve Index cable. You can strap the Steampal to your waist, put it in your pocket, or maybe they'll develop a more convenient carrying case. Now this would essentially turn your Valve Index into a wireless device. It's not truly wireless because you are bound to your base stations, but it would have native game support and top-of-the-line VR streaming. I use Valve's game streaming service throughout my entire house in less than ideal circumstances, and it always performs amazingly well. It's clearly better than game streaming on my Xbox Series X and my PlayStation 5, so I would expect it to perform well in VR. So if Valve truly is developing a handheld device, and it looks like they are, I couldn't imagine them not giving it Valve Index support. This just seems like a no-brainer to me. I would easily spend $400 to get a Valve handheld device and the ability to make my Index wireless. And the obvious evolution of this for a Valve Index 2 is to simply integrate a Steampal into a new Valve Index. Combine it with inside-out camera-based tracking, and you now have a Valve standalone VR headset. Now again, I have to say, there's absolutely no evidence that anything besides the handheld device is coming. But all of this seems like a logical step forward, and I would be hugely disappointed if this didn't happen. Now, if the rumor mill is true, we should be getting some pretty big announcements by the end of the year. I hope all of this is true, because this is the competition we really need in the industry. Now, I always try to avoid hyperbole and not be a hype train here, but Project Neptune really has my brain going. Now, what do you guys think? Am I just too ingrained in VR, and I'm just relating everything Valve does back to VR and the Valve Index? Or am I onto something here? I guess we'll find out eventually. Okay, everybody, that was today's new VR news. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And as always, I will see you guys on next time.